Greetings everyone, welcome to Arth IAS. I am Amit Kumar. Dear aspirants, if you are a beginner or you have already started your preparation for civil services examination of UPSC CSE and you are thinking about how to start answer writing, then this video lecture is for you. Watch this video till end and you will get the benefit. So in this video lecture, we are going to address all the key issues, challenges and the steps that you must follow to start answer writing. So let's see. First, so generally beginners think that how to start answer writing, and there are two types of or two categories of aspirants. So what are these two categories? First is means ones or one who thought that they should start from the very first day. Start from first day, right? This is the first category of aspirants. That there are so many aspirants that think that I should start answer writing from the very first day, right? Another category, waiting till completion of syllabus of the syllabus, right? So one category is starting the answer writing from very first day, or the second category is waiting till completion of syllabus. So here I would like to tell you that both criteria or both strategy is wrong, right? These are two extremes, right? If you are starting answer writing from very first day, obviously it would be the worst answer. So avoid it. You must know certain things. You should be familiar with the questions framework, right? Only then you should start answer writing. Second category, right? So many aspirants belong to this category. They wait till the completion of syllabus, and trust me, again this is also a huge mistake. Right now, what is the way forward, or how should you start, or when should you start? See, the way forward is the middle path. As Buddha says, follow middle path in your life. In the same manner, here you should follow middle path, right? So what is the middle path? So certain middle path is wait for, right? Means here complete a certain portion of your syllabus or certain topics of your syllabus, only then start answer writing, right? For example, you started with GS paper 2, you have completed certain topics, right? Certain topics, for example, in GS2, right? You have completed your topic of parliament, right? You can start answer writing from this topic. Just pick some questions, right, related to parliament, and you can start answer writing. But how to start answer writing, I will tell you later, right? Simply try to understand, right? That complete a certain portion of syllabus, whether it is 20%, 30%, 40%, whatever. But do not wait for till the completion of your syllabus, right? It will never happen. So do not start from the very first day, or do not wait for the last day, right? If you have completed certain portion, you can start. If you have completed certain topics, you can start, right? Now for answer writing, you have to follow these 4 steps, right? So what are these 4 steps? So first is build basic understanding, right? See, whether it is prelims or mains, right? UPSC demands basic understanding, and basic understanding, right? Second, learn the UPSC answer structure. Obviously, right? Any standard thing has a proper structure, a proper framework, and UPSC has its own standard. So you must know or must learn the structure of the answers. Third, start with micro answers. Micro answers means, right, do not directly jump into 150 words question or 250 words question. Right, two types of questions are asked. 150 words means 10 marker question. 250 words question means 15 marker question. Right. So I would suggest that do not directly jump into this type of questions. Right. Start with micro answers. right? So micro answers means you can start with 50-word questions, right, or 100-word questions. I will tell you in third step. And last and most important phase is topic wise answer writing. So here, as I said, that if you have completed certain topics, certain portions of your syllabus, then you can start topic wise answer writing. Now let's see all these 4 steps one by one. So first step is build basic understanding. So how will you build your basic understanding? First, the first objective should be, right, understand the demand of UPSC, right? So what is the demand of UPSC? As I said, UPSC has its own standard, right? You are going to become a bureaucrat, so you must maintain certain standard of language, certain framework, right, certain writing style, right? A good handwriting is expected. So these are the demands of UPSC, right? Apart from that, here, to or to understand the UPSC, here two things will help you. What are those two things? First is syllabus, right? Syllabus of means examination of UPSC, and second is previous year question papers, right? These two things are your best friend, your best guide, right? As I said, you must complete a certain topics of your syllabus or certain portion of your syllabus. Apart from that, PYQs are very important, right? You will get familiar with the original questions of UPSC which have been asked in the past. So always follow these two things, right? And certain suggestions. First suggestion is, do not write answer from the very first day. This is my humble suggestion, right? It will break you. It will discourage you, right? But again, I am saying, do not wait for the last time. Means till the completion of syllabus. Both to avoid two extremes. Now, another important thing that you must do is read, right? Topper's copy plus model answers, right? Topper's copy easily available online, right, on different websites. So download at least 10 to 20 toppers copy, right? Read their answers. It will help you to frame the answers. You will understand how should be the structure of answer, right? And model answers also provided by different institutes, that is available online, right? So here online will help you, and even printed formats are also available. So it is up to you whether you are choosing online or offline, right? So after syllabus and PYQs, these two, right, toppers copy plus model answers will help you a lot. And both these two things, right, it will help you to understand the structure of answers. Structure of answers. And what is the structure of answer? Right? So, as you know, each and every answer, right, has three parts. First is introduction, second, body, and third, conclusion. Right? Introduction, body, conclusion. These are the three parts of any answer. Right? And here, when you read topper's copy, right, look the introduction, how they have written the introduction. Look at the body, right here, and Here one more thing I would like to tell you, that in introduction, right, generally 10 to 15% weightage is given, right, by every topic, right. 70 to 80% weightage is given in body, right, and rest 10% weightage is given to conclusion. Apart from that, you must also look into the maps, diagrams, data, points, paragraphs that toppers have used, right. So here toppers copy and model answers will help you, and all these things will make your basic understanding strong, right. So once again I am repeating. So here, first thing, understand the demand of UPSC. Second, here syllabus plus PYQs will help you. Third, read toppers copy plus model answers. And while reading toppers copy or model answers, focus on the structure of answers. And structure is introduction, body, conclusion. And here, focus on how introduction has been written. Whether they have started with definition, any kind of constitutional provision, any kind of data, any kind of current related topic, or quotes. Right? For example, mostly in ethics or society related topics, quotes are used very much. Right? Again, as I said, body, 70 to 80% weightage is body, and mostly even examiner focuses on body, right. So see the body, whether it is divided into headings, subheadings, points, paragraphs, diagrams, flowcharts, maps, right, table means comparison table. So focus on such things. Conclusion also, conclusion, for example, what is the way forward, constitutional provision, sustainable development goals, or quotes, all these things are used in conclusion, right. Now next, here one more thing I would like to tell you, that so many aspirants memorize the topper's answers or model answers. Avoid such thing. It is a great mistake. Right? Always remember, UPSC rewards originality. Your original thinking, original representation. Take inspiration, that is good, but don't become copy, right? Or do not imitate anyone. Even avoid toppers, right? Do not copy that. Do not memorize their answers, right. Learn from their answers, learn structure, learn the framework, right. Next, second step. Now, so here second step is learn the structure of answer, right. So structure, when we talk about structure, right, so structure includes three parts, as I have told you, right. First is introduction, right. Second is body, and third, conclusion, right. First thing I would like to tell you, that as I said, give weightage to 10 to 15% to introduction, right. Second, 70 to 80% weightage to body, and rest 10% weightage to conclusion, right. This is how. Now, how should you start introduction, how should you write body, and how should you write conclusion, how should you conclude any answer, right. So first, here in introduction, see, in introduction you can start the question, means the first read the question, and then you can start introduction with any definition, constitutional provision, data, current affair related issue, or quotes, and quotes especially if it is related to GS paper 4 or society related topics, right. So introduction, here you can start with definition, most commonly used, right? Even if you read toppers answers, right? If you read, just an example, if you read 10 answers, no, you will find even 6 to 7 answers have been started with definition. And it is one of the simplest and most common method, right, to use definition in introduction, right? But you have to write 20 questions, so you cannot start every question with definition, and you are not able to write definition of each and every topic, right? So make it versatile. Versatile means, second option is, you can start with constitutional provision, right? Especially in GS paper 2, right? For example, you are writing about president, you can start with any constitution, means constitutional provision that is related to president. You are writing about election commission of India, you can start with article 324, right? Now again, another option is data, right? So data, for example, you are writing answer related to society, the society, then, and it is based on women, then you can write that as per the data of Niti Aayog, XYZ percentage of women are still illiterate or illiterate in India, right? Or XYZ percentage of women participate in workforce of India. So again, a good introduction. Next, next is any current related issue, right? Any current related issue. And next, very commonly used, that is quotes, right? Quotes of famous thinkers, politicians, right? Philosophers, always very relevant, right? For example, if any topic that is related to education, society, quotes of Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Abraham Lincoln becomes very important, right? So this is how you should write or start introduction. You can start with the definition that has been asked in the question, right? Constitutional provision, any data, current affair related topic, or any quotes of political thinkers, philosophers, right? Now, body. So here it is considered to be the main part of any question, and here you have to give your 70 to 80% weightage, right? So under this, first write the heading, right? For example, there is a question on cooperative federalism, so write the heading, cooperative federalism in India, right? Then you can write the subheadings. Clear? Apart from that, now one more confusion that mostly aspirants have, that should I write in points or paragraph? So here one thing I would like to tell you, that UPSC has not mentioned anywhere, right, that you have to write in points or paragraph. It is up to you whether you are writing in points or paragraph, right? But to save the time, you should focus on points, because you have to write in each GS paper, you have to write almost 4,000 words, and you are writing paragraphs, obviously it will take more time. So to save the time, focus on points, but both options are there, you can use points or paragraph, right? Next, another important thing that makes your body or answer different from others answer, and that is use of data, flowchart, maps, diagrams, comparison table, right? All these things makes your answer different from others, right? So here include data, and data means which data? Government data or any international organizations data, right? For example, in brackets you have to mention that as per Niti Aayog, right? XYZ percentage of women participate in organized sector, right? This is how you should read, you should write, right? So data, apart from that, flow chart, diagrams, maps. See, map has limited role. Why I am saying map has limited role? For example, you can use maps in geography, mostly in geography, in GS paper, right? Apart from that, also in IR, international relations, right? But you cannot use map in GS paper 4, right? So here you should use flowcharts, flowcharts or table. Table means comparison table, right? For example, there is a question that explain the differences between ethics and morality. Then you can draw a table. It will save your time. Explain the differences between, or what are the differences between constitutionalism and constitution. You can tell the difference. Parliamentary sovereignty and parliamentary supremacy. You can draw the table. So if you have to compare, then you can draw a table, right? If you divide, if you want to divide certain topic or certain things, you can use flowcharts. Especially in ethics, flowcharts are used, diagrams are used, right? Now, conclusion. So again, as I said here, give weightage means 10% weightage to conclusion. And in conclusion, you write way forward, right? So way forward, again, one more thing I would like to tell you, that you always give positive way forward, right? And conclusion should be positive, not negative, right? You are going to become a civil servant. You have to solve the problems of society. And that's why you have to remain optimistic in each and every answer. Whether the question is demanding negative things, in spite of that, at the end, you should end with positive things, right? Examiners should read your answer as optimistic, that you are an optimistic person, right? Apart from that, you can end with, again, quotes, right? Especially, again, I'm telling, it is, if it is related to ethics, society, or any social issues, right? Then you can also end with SDG goals, right? Mostly it covers all aspects, whether it is social, political, economical, environmental, scientific, or whatever, right? So always remember SDG goals. That SDG goal, for example, this is related to SDG goal, right? You can mention SDG goal number, this is related to this topic, right? So this is how. And another aspect, you can also end with constitutional values, right? For example, if there is a question on constitutionalism or constitutional spirit, you can end with constitutional values. If there is a question on conflict between center and states, you can end with constitutional values, right? There is a question regarding equality of women or equal status of other third gender in society, you can end with constitutional values, right? So this is how you should frame your answer: introduction, body, conclusion, right? In introduction, you can start with definition, constitutional provision, data, any current related issue, or quotes. And mostly if it is related to ethics or society, right, or any topic, for example in GS2 social justice, right? So here importance of quotes are very important, right? Very much. Next, body. So here give 70 to 80% weightage, right? So here divide your body in headings, subheadings, points, paragraphs, right? You have both options. You can write in points or paragraphs, but go for points. It will save your time. You can use data, and you must use data, right? Flowcharts, diagrams, maps, right? Tables. Apart from that, you can also use certain constitutional provisions, right? And especially if it is GS2, right? Then you must write certain articles, right? Certain committees reports. Such things will enrich your answer. It will be, you can say, value addition, right? Conclusion. So in conclusion, right, you can write way forward, quotes, SDG goals, constitutional values, right? And as I said earlier, that your conclusion should be optimistic. Now moving towards the next step. This is third step. So as I said, that do not jump into the main question. Main question means whether it is 10 marker question or 15 marker question, right? In each paper, in each GS paper, 20 questions are there, right? Let me tell you, right? Whether it is GS 1, 2, 3 or 4. So 10 questions of 10 marker equal to 100 marks, and 10 questions of 15 marks, right, is equal to 150 marks. So combinedly each paper has 250 marks, right? So here, do not jump into the main question directly, and especially if you are a beginner. So you should start with micro answers. Micro answers means, let me tell you. So first you can start with 50 words answers, right? 50 words answer means, for example, start with basic questions, and here NCRTs will help you a lot, right? To make your foundation, you start with NCRT, right? And each and every chapter means at the end of every chapter there are some questions in each NCRT, right? Whether it is history, geography, economy, polity, whatever, right? So you pick such questions, right? And write answers in 50 words, 60 words, right? For example, you read polity topic, right? And you read about constitution, right? And it is a very basic question, that what is constitution? What is constitution? Very basic question. So here you can write the definition plus, right, you can give some example, one or two example. It will cover 50 words, right? After writing certain number of questions, for example 50 questions or 100 questions, or 20 or 30 questions, right, you will gain confidence that no, I can write answers now, right? So here NCRTs will help you, right? And as I said, each and every chapter includes question, right? So next, after writing certain number of questions, right, of 50 words, you can start, right? Then go for 100-word questions, right? 100 words answer. So now you have written at least 40, 50, 60, whatever, right, answers of 50 words. Now you have gained confidence. Now move towards 100-word answers, right? So here when you are writing 100-word answer, right? Now you have to focus or make a framework, right? Make a framework means, as I said, what should be the framework? So introduction, body, conclusion, right? Follow this formula when you are writing any 100-word answer, right? Forget about the main question of UPSC, right? Now, as I said, you can start in those format I have told you just few minutes ago, right? For example, if there is a question, what is constitutionalism, right? Or a question, right? What is constitutionalism? What are its elements, right? This question is related to politics and very simple question. So first, define constitutionalism in introduction, right? In body, just write the elements of constitutionalism, and in the conclusion, just write the crux of the question, crux of the answer, right? So you can write that whether a country is democratic or republic or whatever, right? It demands constitutionalism, right? And to establish democracy or to function a proper democracy, constitutionalism is must. So this is how you can end. You can write the conclusion, and trust me, you will finish this in 100 words, right? And this is how, in the initial phase, try to write 3 to 4 answers, right? Not very much, right? 3 to 4 answers are sufficient in initial phase. 3 to 4 questions daily, and here now, mark my words. Forget about time limit, right? Take your time because quality matters more than quantity, right? You have to increase quantity, but simultaneously maintaining quality, right? So 3 to 4 questions are sufficient for every day, and here take at least, right? I'm telling you, take at least 15 minutes. Means finish one question in 15 to 20 minutes. So if you are writing 3 to 4 questions, you can take 1 hour, right? 1 hour. Average, if you are writing 4 questions, average 15 minutes per question, right? Don't think about that I am taking too much time, right? In the initial phase, even so many toppers took 30 minutes to write a question, but in the examination they reduced it to 9 to 8 to 9 minutes, and you will do the same. But in the beginning phase, in the initial phase, right, focus on quality, right, maintaining quantity, right? Now next phase, so next phase is, or last phase, that is fourth phase, topic wise answer writing. Now you have developed your confidence, right? You have written 50 words answer, you have written 100 words answer. Now you are prepared to write 150 words answer or 250 words answer, and you have already learned the structure, how to write introduction, body, conclusion, right? Now here, take the first step. What is the first step? Start with, right, start with which topic? Means the topic you have completed. Clear? Completed topic, right? So completed topic, any topic you have, whether you have completed your geography, polity, history, environment, or whatever, right, or ethics, right, you can start with any completed topic. And again I am telling you, don't wait for the completion of 100% or the topic 100%, right. For example, in geography you have completed Indian geography or soil in India, right, you can start from that topic, soil in India, right. You have completed your topic of monsoon, you can start from that topic of monsoon, right. Climatology, polity, if you have completed certain topics like parliament, executive, right, or judiciary, so you can start with any particular topic. Same here with history, environment, ethics, or whatever. For example, in ethics you have completed ethics and morality, you can start with that, right. You have completed attitude and aptitude or simply attitude, you can start with that topic, because attitude is a single topic but it has sub classifications, right. So this is how you should start topic wise answer writing, right. Now here you have to follow this 5-step formula, right. What is this 5-step formula? Let me tell you. 5-step formula, right. So here first see the demand of question, right. What is being asked in the question, right. This is the first step, right. So here what is the first step? Look into the demand of the question. Demand of question. And demand of question means when you, if you see the question of UPSC, you will find certain words are mentioned in the question, each and every question. For example, discuss, right. One of the favorite keyword of UPSC, discuss, analyze, right, evaluate, and so many words are there, right. UPSC approximately uses 20 words, approximately 20 words, right, as tail words, also known as tail words, in each and every question, and it reflects the demand of the question, right. For example, if any question ask discuss, right, for example, discuss the role of president in Indian democracy, comparing the function of prime minister of India, right. So you have to write in or discuss in a well written manner, right, and evaluate, or other words like critically analyze, critically evaluate, critically examine, right. So focus on the demand of question, and here as I said, toppers copy plus model answers will help you, right. Second thing, break the question. Break the question means, let me show you a question. So see, for example, there is a question that discuss the challenges to cooperative federalism, right? A question is, discuss the challenges to cooperative federalism, right? So, if you see the question, it can be categorized into three parts: introduction, body, conclusion, right? Now, what is the demand of the question? It asks you about first cooperative federalism. Second, it asks you the challenges. So, in the introduction, you will define what is cooperative federalism. In the body, you will explain or discuss, right, the challenges to cooperative federalism in India, right? This is how you should break any question, right? And lastly, you will write the way forward. So here you will have to write three things. First is cooperative federalism. In the answer, you will write first what is cooperative federalism, right? In the, let me show you, body, right? In the body, you will write the challenges, right? Challenges to cooperative federalism, and lastly, conclusion. So in the conclusion, you will give weightage of hardly 10%. So this is how you should break any question, right? Now, apart from that, while framing the answers, right, you can give, or as so many good aspirants, or even you can give it, right, give at least 30 seconds for brainstorming. Brainstorming means just recall certain key points, right? Whether you are practicing or you are writing test series or even in the examination hall, give 30 seconds, right? 30-40 seconds for brainstorming. Just recall the key points, right? Or you can note in the rough page. It will help you to frame the answers, right? Now, then you can write the answers in the same format: introduction, body, conclusion, right? And here, maintain certain things. For example, try to write in small paragraphs, right, or points, to save your time. First thing. Second, use bullet points. As I said, both options are open, whether you can write in bullet points or paragraph, but you try to use bullet points, save your time, right? Apart from that, categorize, right, or divide the body into headings, subheadings. Apart from that, use data, flowchart, maps, diagrams, right, or other constitutional provisions, especially if you are writing GS paper 2, right, or governance related issues. You can also add certain legal aspects, right? And lastly, one more important thing is regular review, right? Review regularly, right? Review regularly because you have to check your progress, right? And if you are staying with any senior or your roommate, right, you can review your or each other's progress. It will help you both, or you can take help of any mentor or even teachers. So to check your progress, review is very important, right? And the person who is reviewing or checking your answers, right, ask him to give marks. For example, if you have written a 10 marker question, no, right, then ask the same person, right, who is checking your answer, that give some marks, right? Then obviously you will check your progress. So In this video lecture, we have discussed all the key aspects of how to start answer writing as a beginner. I hope this video lecture is helpful for you. Thank you.